I remember, as well as if it was 5 minutes ago, I can remember the phone ringing at 11 o'clock on January the 4th, 1990, and I can remember going to the phone, and I don't remember hanging up the phone. I was in such shock. I just can't remember hanging up the phone.
I remember crying and saying, you know, I got to give up this. I got to leave my little house. And we were after going to Toronto, and we were after taking it in Youngster Street. And I knew what it was like to take him and put him into a big city. Yeah. And how much they were losing. And I was scared to death what I was going to do to Leo, because he was so shy, and how far back I was going to put him. And I was scared to death for myself. You know, like I said, we didn't have no mansion on the hill, but it was ours. It's ours, it's our home. And like, you know, to start all over again at our age.
You're describing to me fear. Was that the first time you felt fear about your life?
I think it was. Here I was, I had this life. I worked in the fishman, I had you know, we were making good money, we had our 2 children, and just like this, here I was. I had no education, you know, and I was crawling up for 40 years of age. What was I going to do? And take 2 youngsters and move out of here. And we knew that everything was more expensive, and you needed 2 people in the family to work. What was I going to work at?
That day, when the last trailer or the finished product pulled away from the loading ramp, and I walked into an empty cold storage, that's when the reality started to set in. And this was defined, this was the date for sure, you know, the reality hit home.
Well, it was worse, I think, than anything anybody ever experienced, because sometimes, you know, you deal with people with sudden death and stuff like that, but like that night, like the whole town died, like, you know, and like it was something that people were in denial. They couldn't believe it was going to happen to us. You know, it can't happen to Trapassi.
Anger, frustration, sadness, emptiness, you name it, I had the feelings. You know, it was the loss, it was a loss. Well, I can compare it to anything only the loss of a close friend or a family member. It had been our livelihood, it was the death of our livelihood. It had been part of me. When I was 14 years old, I went to work in the fish plant in my summer vacation, and you could go to work there on a Saturday. So you can imagine, you know, the loss I felt, you know. And this was the end, you know. Before, you were in hopes that something was going to happen, but that was the reality of it.